Now that 2016 is but a distant memory, we find ourselves standing in a bold new world called 2017. We've been over the best TV of last year, but what about this year? There are plenty of amazing shows on the horizon just waiting for you to put them in your eyeballs. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here are the TV shows we most want to see in 2017. Taboo. No, not an adaptation of the hit party game. This 8-episode FX miniseries stars Tom Hardy as an adventurer in the early 1800s who returns to England to avenge his father's death, placing him squarely in the crosshairs of the mega-powerful British East India Company. Now that all sounds well and good, but the single best part of this show is that it's created by Tom Hardy, Stephen Knight, and Tom Hardy's father, who, I kid you not, is named Chips. Chips Hardy. Guys, what is that name? What do we call him here? Fries Daddy? This is incredible. A series of unfortunate events. Remember the 2004 A Series of Unfortunate Events movie with Jim Carrey? Me neither. Which is why it's the perfect time for a new TV series based on Lemony Snicket's novels. This time around, our three precocious orphans get sent to live with none other than Emmy and Tony Award winning Neil Patrick Harris, who's playing their mean uncle Count Olaf. And hey, honestly, can he be that mean if he's Neil Patrick Harris? I mean, he seems like a pretty chill guy. What are these orphans whining about so much anyway? Oh no, my parents are dead. I have to live with my cool uncle who wants to steal my inheritance. You know what? Maybe he deserves you. Think about that, you greedy little kids. The Young Pope. Imagine for a moment that you're an HBO exec and someone pitches you a show about a chill-ass pope. You say, oh, that's cool, but is he old? No, even better, he's young. Okay, but is he super straight-laced? No way! He smokes cigarettes! This guy smokes cigarettes. Oh, wow! Well, is he played by some ugly monster man like Shrek? No, dude! It's Jude freaking Law, bro! This Pope is extremely my shit, you guys, and this show looks absolutely bonkers. If this Pope skateboards, I'm gonna lose my dang mind and relaunch the Crusades. And folks, be sure to tweet Rachel Hine your thoughts about it using hashtag #BadPope. She'll understand why. Powerless. Say what you will about their movies, but DC has been not so quietly killing the superhero TV game for half a decade now. But it raises an important question. After all the massive city-threatening battles and disastrous mayoral races, who's left to pick up the pieces? Enter Powerless, a comedy that follows the employees of an insurance company that have to assess the damages that follow when heroes and villains lay the superpowered smackdown on one another. Considering they cast a comedic Justice League of actors including Vanessa Hudgens, Danny Putty, Alan Tudyk, Ron Funches, and Kate Micucci, this insurance company looks well worth the risk. Legion. Professor X's mentally unstable son, David Haller, suffers from schizophrenia. He's been in and out of mental hospitals his whole life. He also happens to be an Omega-level mutant. Now, he's on the hunt for the woman he fell in love with while in a mental hospital. That's the premise of Noah Hawley's super trippy new Marvel series on FX, Legion. This is the first time the X-Men are gonna bridge the gap from movies to TV, which is awesome. Dan Stevens stars as David Haller in the ultra-weird new series where the last thing you wanna do is calm your mind. American Gods. What if you were suddenly released from prison and you found yourself hanging out with Ian McShane? Except he's not Ian McShane, he's a dude named Mr. Wednesday, who's secretly the Norse god Odin, and you also find out that all the other ancient gods are still around and waging a war against the new gods of technology and media. You know, that old chestnut. That old, hey, wait, what? What the hell did you just say? I don't care, I need the show right now, chestnut. And that's exactly what happens in American Gods, Brian Fuller and Michael Green's adaptation of Neil Gaiman's very popular novel. To call this the most anticipated new series in the Nerdist office might be an understatement. To say this is our most anticipated new Dane Cook project in a decade is just a statement. Star Trek Discovery. Brian Fuller may no longer have the con as Star Trek Discovery showrunner, but I am still incredibly excited to boldly go where no man has gone before in CBS's new Star Trek anthology series. Now, considering it's been a decade since the last TV Trek, I think I speak for all of us when I say my body is ready to set my face to yeah and watch some sweet, sweet serialized Star Trek action, baby. Iron Fist. Sir Loras Tyrell is handsome at karate in the 4th solo Marvel Netflix series leading up to The Defenders, which is also coming out this year, and holy crap, you guys. This one, though, focuses on Danny Rand, an orphan who studied abroad in the mystical city of Kunlun, or Kunlun, I pronounced it right once before, I'm not gonna look it up again, and returns to New York to bring his father's killer to justice. There's gonna be hallway fights, there's gonna be other fights, there's gonna be a lead into The Defenders, which I mentioned premieres this year, and has Sigourney Weaver, presumably, as a sentient hallway. Long story short, watch my other episode about everything you need to know about Iron Fist and you'll get why I'm so hyped. Karate! Twin Peaks. Much like that gum you like, that old David Lynch show you like is gonna come back in style. That's right, half a century. Let that sink in. After the original series, David Lynch and Mark Frost are bringing us back to the weirdest town in America. Not only are we getting returning favorites like Kyle MacLachlan, but we're getting newcomers like Monica Bellucci, Jim Belushi, Laura Dern, Ernie Hudson, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Naomi Watts, and pretty much every other great actor you can think of. Since there's no show date yet, I recommend putting on a pot of damn fine coffee and playing the waiting game. I mean, guys, it's been this long, so what's a few more months? Oh, I did not realize how long months are. The Deuce. Anyway, The Deuce. Finally, David Simon, the creator of The Wire, is giving us the follow-up we've all been waiting for. An HBO drama about the porn industry in 1970s New York, starring James Franco as a pair of twins. All right, sure, that sounds great. I don't care. David Simon, I trust you implicitly. James Franco, I don't trust you, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. Don't burn me. Game of Thrones. I mean, come on, right? We all wanna see this. We're all gonna watch this, especially because this is the season that Gendry finally rose to shore. Guys, come on, we're gonna watch. Wet Hot American Summer, 10 years later. Make it your beeswax to be there when this murderer's row of hilarious people involved in Wet Hot American Summer and First Day of Camp return to make a sequel series queued up in the final moments of the original 2001 film. While we're not sure who exactly is going to be returning, Michael Showalter and David Wain have already recruited Jon Hamm, Kristen Wiig, John Slattery, Josh Charles, and Jason Schwartzman for the new series, and considering it takes place in 1991, I can't wait to see Coop and the gang form a killer grunge band and talk about Desert Storm and whatever else happened then. Bill Nye saves the world. Bill's back, baby, and this time he's gonna save the damn planet. Everyone's favorite science guy returns to Netflix with a talk show about science, politics, and pop culture. While I'm deeply intrigued to see how Nye does with the new format, I'm mainly just keeping my fingers crossed for more Morrissey-themed music videos about momentum. He called him Momentasy! It's the best! The one time I met him, that's what I brought up. I know, it was weird for him too. And those are just a handful of the shows we most want to see in 2017. But tell me, what TV shows are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments below and give me an HBO quality thumbs up while you're there. Be sure to like and subscribe or else you might miss next week's show when we talk about the story of a legendary martial arts tournament full of sad orphan billionaires and their trusty teen sidekicks fighting to the death in Mortal Kombat Batman and Robin. Until next time, keep on digging. Let's open up the old mailbag, shall we? At dhinman909 asks, pitch a Gambit solo film. That's not a question, but okay, I'll go with the 1994 Gambit miniseries, Honor Amongst Thieves, which finds Gambit's ex-wife coming back from the dead, a war between the Thieves and Assassins Guild in New Orleans, and Rogue by his side learning an awful lot about the Ragin' Cajun. But hey, we'll see if this movie actually gets made. At Gorm Hosen asks, why did you want to learn Japanese? Not weird, just curious. Alright, well, my interest in Japan first started through anime, but as I studied the history of the country more in high school, I found myself wanting to learn the language too. I mean, I've always been a big fan of studying foreign languages, and this was definitely far and away the most challenging one I've ever attempted. But practice makes perfect, so if you're interested, just keep at it, find a language partner, it's very rewarding. At Grumble asks, if you were a Westworld host, which story loop / horrible human interaction would you wish for yourself? Well, my loop would have someone trying to talk to me right after I bit into a piece of pizza, except the pizza's way too hot and I burn the hell out of my mouth, and it just gets worse from there. But tell me, what would your loop be? Let me know in the comments below and I'll see you guys next time!